And hello! Welcome to Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. We are your casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG. Let's go!
Alright, let's go! Because tonight will be the final night for the
Pre.
quarterfinals. The pre-quarterfinals.
The
And
pre.
we will now determine who are going to be the last four teams to make our top eight that will enter the quarterfinals, which will happen on the next Ragnarok Asia Masters stream. But we have eight teams competing for today. Six teams from GGL and two teams from GGH. And right now, the first match is going to be Bayou GGTQ versus KTF. And both teams are getting ready. They are going to be at their own buying area.
Yes.
And for the matches for tonight, we are going to have Bayou GGTQ versus KTF, 85% Fictive versus Goons, Dominati versus Dignity, and Valhalla versus Arcane. Again, like I mentioned, six teams from GGL, two teams from GGH. So Bayou GGTQ and KTF are both from GGL, 85% Fictive from GGL versus Goons from GGH,
Yep.
Dominati from GGH versus Dignity from GGL, and Valhalla and Arcane both from GGL. GGL is just proving their dominance and experience in 7 versus 7 MG. What do you think?
Actually, we saw how good they are regarding the fights, the adjustments they've been showing. They've been showing the viewers that they actually know how to play the 7v7 style.
Yes.
They're actually showing different types of meta. And at the same time, the mix-ups from a slow tempo to a fast tempo facing of bushes. To be fair, we are actually learning a lot on the side of GGL as well. We're trying to adapt the styles of on the side of GGL as well. And yeah, interesting lineups and interesting strategies. Yeah, basically.
Yes. And for the first match, of course, the poll is up. Make sure to vote. Who do you think will win in this first match? Is it going to be Bayou GGTQ or KTF? And let us know in the comment section or in the chat who are the teams that you are looking forward to seeing here in our matchups for today. Again, a lot of these matchups are going to be intense because we are now at the top 16 of the tournament. On the next Ragnarok Asian Masters stream, which will happen on Wednesday, that will be
Yes.
the quarterfinals, which will be the top 8. So now, MG, since we are now just getting the last four teams to make out our top 8 for the tournament, looking at the teams who already passed or moved on to round number 3, or the quarterfinals, which is Obliviate, Wrist, Walang Sangit Ka, and Dominari. Who are the teams here that are currently playing that you are looking forward to seeing? Because we've seen them play in round number 1. Maybe you have a team in mind that you are looking forward to seeing right now.
Well, the match that I'm really interested, actually all of the matches are really good for today's session, and including the upcoming matches. But I'm really curious about the match that's gonna happen versus Valhalla and Arcane as well. That's the first match, and of course, Goons and Fictive, 85% Fictive. I think those two matches right now is catching my attention. I think on the side of Valhalla and Arcane, they have a different playstyle. I think both teams are really technical when it comes to on the fights and execution as well. And on the side of 85% Fictive, again, another experienced guild coming from GGL. And on the side of Goons, definitely this is a team of GGH. So I really want to see the improvement that they've been from round 1 to round 2, right? The adjustment that they're gonna do. Same goes with Dominati and Dignity. So again, I'm really excited to see the matches. But again, the two matches that caught my attention is 85% Fictive and Goons, Valhalla and Arcane.
Oh, okay. Actually, for the matches for tonight, the Goons is actually the team that didn't finish off their opponents back in the round 1 eliminations.
Yeah.
So the timer was the one who determined the winner for the matches. So both the Goons team here and the Dominati team here, I believe. the timer determined the winner for the matches. Maybe here in round number two, it's going to be different. They played with a mechanic on round number one. Maybe round number two, they'll show us something different because this is going to be really exciting to see, especially for the GGH teams, how they make their adjustments. Because again, GGH is kind of new to the 7 versus 7 team. In comparison with the GGL teams who has been doing it for the past few years, right? So GGH teams have a lot to work with to catch up, and depending on their adjustment, depending on how they do it, how they practice, how they check things out, I believe the GGH teams can actually pull this off. But again, GGL is just proving their dominance in the battle, their experience in 7 versus 7, and making sure they secure a lot of spots here in our top 8.
Yes, I really agree on that one, especially the pressure coming from GGL to GGH as well. I think GGH right now is really have that pressure, especially they know for a fact that they're fighting a veteran players, especially on when it comes to 7v7. So again, it's a matter of adjustment, and it's a matter of having those information on your hand and using that information to counter your enemy. So I think on the side of GGH, they actually studied a lot for this past few days. They have the replays. Maybe they have the replays, or we have the live as well. They can also watch that from time to time just to review those specifics. But then again, it all boils down on the execution that they're gonna have for their matches. So hopefully, the review is enough, and hopefully that they can actually execute it properly on the proper match.
Yes, and again, let us know who the teams you are rooting for in the comment section or in the live chat of our stream. Also, again, the poll is up, so make sure to vote for who do you think is going to win our first match for tonight. Is it going to be Bayou GGTQ or KTF? Again, these teams both from GGL, both well versed and experienced in 7 versus 7. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they will perform, how they will execute their lineups, their roster, their skills, and show us a good match for as the start of tonight's stream.
Yes. Right now is gonna be I think on the side of Bio GGTQ, they actually made an adjustment, a last minute adjustment. So this is really an interesting lineup coming from Bio GGTQ. So earlier on the waiting area, they actually opted out for a ranger, and now they suddenly shifted into a rune knight.
Ooh.
So their current lineup is Royal Guard.
I don't think we can actually. Well. I think it's part of their strategy that they did so.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe they are planning to do something else for that matter, but. Yeah, if they have their characters ready, if they have they have those options ready for their team, they can change every round, right?
Yeah, that's actually good. As long as I think if they're gonna be comfortable on those classes to take the win, by all means they can. I think they should do what's the best for their team. So right now on the side of by GGDQ, they have the Warlock, Royal Guard, Minstrel, Archbishop, and Sura, and for their two wild classes, that's gonna be the Rune Knight and the Shadow Chaser.
Yes, as the first match is going to start any second now. And for the side of KTF, actually, they have the 5 core classes, of course, that's Sorcerer, Sura, Archbishop, Minstrel, Royal Guard. And the wild cards they have is a Mechanic and a Shadow Chaser.
Wow.
So this is going to be something interesting that KTF is going to do. If they can execute this well, they can repeat what happened to the other teams before them. Just casting that suicidal destruction at the right spot, at the right choke point to take down everyone from the opposing team. As round number 1 is beginning right now, KTF occupying the top hill. And for Bayou GGTQ, their place is the bottom hill right there.
Okay. So I think right now they just went to waited it out. Right now Bio GGTQ is just playing it safe. So I think they're just trying to feel the positioning first. And as you can see, their Sura is playing on a red HP. So meaning he has the intention to deal a lot of damage on the opposing team.
Well, probably wanting to target the Shadow Chaser or an opposing Sura, for that matter, to take him out in one hit. But we are going to see what will happen right here. Again, the lineup of Bio GGTQ, they have that Shadow Chaser as well, plus that Rune Knight, which is a more stable roster.
Yes.
I can say that, because again, that mechanic is a glass. If you didn't hit that Suicidal Destruction, you can get it's not going to be pretty for your end, for your team.
Yes, definitely. So it's like a double-edged sword that if you can land it properly, you can win. But if you don't land it properly and you're out position, definitely one of the players of the opposing team can actually pick you off. But yeah, I think right now it's I think both teams are respecting each other because they know for a fact that they're very good on zoning and spacing as well. So that's why at the moment both teams are just playing it safe.
And as KTF, actually, MG is trying to move in closer right now on the top left side. As you can see, KTF just moving in. Magnetic Earth almost connecting right here. Vacuums getting casted in the middle, but no, actually, Vacuums will get removed. Some crazy vines or crazy weed there on the floor to remove some Magnetic Earth. Just landing Magnetic Earth connected to each other. But KTF will back down just a bit. The Vacuums will get casted in the middle right here. As you can see, KTF just keeping their distance, making sure their mechanic is positioned at the right spot, while Bio GGTQ is making sure they have their Rune Knight in the right spot as well. Millennium Shield got casted up now. Gates of Hell will try to take down a Sorcerer. Bio GGTQ will lose their Sorcerer right now. Another Gates of Hell coming from KTF. And as you can see, Bio GGTQ is trying to take down their opponents one by one. And rather, KTF, or that matter, and Bio GGTQ is getting eliminated. And KTF is actually going to win this first round. I didn't know or what happened to that mechanic as I was looking at that Sura, just casting that Gates of Hell, taking down that Sorcerer first. When that Sorcerer goes down, you know, it's kind of difficult for your team to actually make a move. Again, Dispels will be out of the options. All you can do is cast that Masquerade and debuff your opponents before you can take all of them down. And KTF will take round number 1 against Bayou GGTQ.
Yes, a really good execution on the side of KTF. The patience, a slow aggression coming on their end, and that slow aggression actually made it way to the sorcerer. They tried to they tried to save the sorcerer, but apparently it was too late. It was really open on the side of KTF, and that's what took the initiative on hitting the sorcerer with the Gates of Hell, and yeah, from there snowballed the push. One by one, they're getting they're getting wiped basically. So good job on KTF.
Actually, I didn't actually see a Curse Circle land coming from the side of KTF. He just went in Gates of Hell, eliminating that sorcerer, but that dispel was also casted at the right moment coming from the sorcerer of KTF, removing the sacrifice that the Royal Guard of Bio GGTQ did to that sorcerer, or probably because KTF, their Sura is playing with very, very low HP. It's going to be difficult for that Royal Guard to take all the damage that the sorcerer is going to to get, right?
Yes.
So both teams just need to be really careful right here. KTF just taking advantage in that first round. They became very aggressive. They positioned themselves well. As you can see, just pushing in closer. Magnetic Earth on the floor. Then just slowly inching back to position their mechanic. Then when they spotted that it's the right time to attack, they did it with such precision, taking down the key opponents first. Again, they took down that sorcerer first.
Yes.
Because that sorcerer went in, tried to do some stuff there for Bio GGTQ, and KTF just noticed it properly there at that time. So because of that, KTF won that first round.
Yes, I really agree that on that one. At the same time, yes, you're correct about the fast execution coming from the Sergeant Sura. That the spell connected immediately into Gates of Hell. And I really think that KTF is really confident when it comes to on moving forward. I think they know for a fact that Bio GGTQ is playing slightly defensive. Like they tried to paddle back, and I think most of the players on the side of by GGTQ is outside of the land protector or the magnetics earth.
Mm.
So there is actually like three players that's really exposed: the RK or the Runite, the
Mm.
Sorcerer, and I think the Shadow Chaser as well. So on those three
Mm.
targets, I think they actually had a good pinpoint target, which is the Sorcerer, which where they managed to take it down. So again, a really good read coming from KTF versus YGGTQ.
Mm.
But on the second round, can they still repeat that performance since YGGTQ knows how to knows how KTF is gonna work
Mm.
with the strategy?
Well, here's the thing. For the first round, I actually didn't see on my end what happened to the mechanic of KTF.
Yeah.
If he got eliminated or if he got disabled at the right moment before he actually used that suicidal destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they need to lock down that mechanic. That Shadow Chaser will cause huge problems for that mechanic. Of course, when that ignorance goes off before that suicidal destruction, and of course other masks for the other players as well for the side of Bayou GGTQ. And they need to scout things out properly because I only saw some scouts happening from KTF that went so far ahead to scout
Oh,
his
okay.
opponents or their opponents rather. And Bayou GGTQ, I think, needs to do the same thing to check things out, how they are going to execute, how they are going to move in closer. And maybe they need to put a little bit more aggression into their fight because they just got outwitted by KTF right there on that area.
Yeah.
Again, choke point was in the favor of KTF because they have that mechanic. So that's why they are a little bit hesitant to push in. But again, there's a way to counter that suicidal destruction. Either that Shadow Chaser does something, or an elemental shield, or probably runes. A lot of things can happen right there for these teams. So let's see how they execute round number 2 as the buying phase will end any second
Seconds.
now.
Yeah.
All right, and Bayou GGTQ, we have a lot of Bayou GGTQ fans
Oh,
here in
let's
the
go.
chat.
Let's go.
All right, so it said right here, keep your spirits up. I think Sasha means just keep your spirits up. Bayou GGTQ. All right, so same goes for Miranda right here.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's the best thing that they can do. They need to like clear their minds. I think and just play the best game that they can actually do. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
less pressure and just focus on your roles and goals on the 7v7
Yes, just focus your roles and goals. Well,
roles. And,
I
yeah.
like that rhymed when you didn't even mean
I'm
to do
actually
it, right?
learning from you, James. Like
Okay, you actually have a few rhyming
Yep,
words
yep,
in the
yep.
last session, so maybe
Yes.
it's your turn right now, MG.
Roles and
Oh, yeah.
goals. Here we go.
Roles and goals. All right. So
Okay.
let's see what will happen in round number 2 as these teams are getting set. We are now at the starting point. Let's transition in a little bit. Okay, so you transition now, maybe. Okay. So we are spectating on the side of KTF right now on the
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and on the left. Actually, it's going to be Bayou GGTQ, which I will go to right now. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Before I forget. Hey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure, James, if you notice this. Like, the Royal Guard at the side of KTF doesn't have a mount.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, I thought it
Well,
was, like, dismounted or something.
here's the thing. If you have a mount, you can bring more potions because you have more weight. But again, maybe his skill points is put into something else. So maybe he prioritized a different skill instead of getting that mount. It can be like that, or maybe he just wants to walk with his team at the same speed, right?
Yeah.
That can also be a factor because it really depends on how you want to execute, how you want to move, if you want to just move slowly, you can do that. But I'm
Well,
not really sure. I
yes.
can only see benefits if you have that mastery, riding mastery. So I'm not really sure. So
Well, I think he, ano, I think I really like the point of setting your character on the same phase with your members, right? Maybe that's the one of the things that he's considering, and at the same time the potions as well. The more potions that you have, the more damage that you can actually absorb with your Sakra.
Well,
So yeah,
here's the thing. You also need to be careful of your weight. Because again, that masquerade can just hit you with a lot of chances or higher chances if your weight is actually up high right there. As you can see, BioGGTQ is actually moving in closer right
here
now.
we go.
They are going to attack
Oh!
here at the choke point and at the starting point right now of KTF. You can see that Sura
The Sura?
just get caught by that
Oh, he's
vacuum.
safe.
As KTF is getting raided right now by Bayou GGTQ, and that sorcerer of Bayou is actually sleeping right now. With the Lex getting captured.
Oh, he's down?
Bell will land, and KTF is eliminating Bayou GGTQ right now, one by one. Sura is up, left, and remaining, but KTF just waiting for the right moment to take down the members of Bayou right there, as KTF will get round number 2 as well. And it was a great and valiant effort here coming from Bayou GGTQ, but
that was really
yeah,
fast.
because of that, it became a little bit harder for Bayou, because I think they were expecting KTF to move uphill.
Yeah.
But KTF, I think, has a good read on the movement of Bayou GTTQ, and they were expecting that.
Yes.
That's why. So that's why they just waited it out, right? They just waited at the starting point, waited for Bayou to actually push in, and it worked for KTF.
Yes. That was actually a good read indeed on the side of KTF, that they actually put like one character in front, the Shadow Chaser, and that Shadow Chaser immediately scouted the movement on the side of Bayou GGTQ. And the positioning on the side of KTF was really precise, that they don't want to commit other movements. They just tried to paddle back slowly, but I think the Sura got caught for a bit, and that Sura managed to recover from that push coming from BioGGTQ, and that Sura snowballed the push on the side of BioGGTQ, and KTF stealing another win on BioGGTQ.
Alright, as KTF will be moving on to the next round. Can you actually show our bracket right now?
Yeah.
MG. And KTF will be the 5th team joining the top 8 currently in our... Can you show us?
Sorry, there you go.
Oh, I'm waiting. I was waiting. Alright. Okay, so we can show it properly. Okay, so... yeah, as the brackets are going to be updated in just a bit. Again, KTF will be moving there. All right. Sorry, my camera is mirrored, so my movements will be a little bit off. Okay, so KTF will be moving on to the next round. Next match will be actually 85% fictive versus Goons.
Here we go.
And again, this is going to be a GGH versus GGL match. Goons, let's see if they made their adjustments here for round number 2. Or, yeah, for round number 2 of this tournament. Because, again, in round number 1, they were a little bit hesitant. They were not really that aggressive. So, maybe in round number 2 or here in the pre-quarterfinals, they will do something different and surprise us.
Yes. And I think GGH is really prepared for the 7v7 or for the round 2. And I think Goons can pull off maybe good wonders for their match. But let's see, they're gonna face like 85% KTF on the side of
Fictive.
Oh, effective.
Alright.
88.
So,
The mix up. Sorry. Yeah.
Things.
The 85% fictive on their side. Okay. So they actually have a good round on their or they have a good run on their first round. So the question there is, can they still be consistent on their round 2 matches? So let's go ahead and see if the consistency versus the hard working studyish guild goons can take down this veteran guild from GGL.
Well, we'll see. We'll
We'll
see what
see.
happens right here,
Definitely.
and it's going to be quite exciting because we have a lot of Goons fans in the chat as well. So
Yeah.
if you are rooting for Goons, just type in the chat right now. We want to see it in the comment section. If you are rooting for 85% fictive, let us know as well. Of course, in the chat, make us read some of your comments. Who are you rooting for?
Yes.
All right, who are you rooting for? Is it going to be Goons or 85% fictive? Let us know. And if you are, you want to cheer for a specific player playing for these teams, and you want to shout him or her out, just let us know in the chat. Of course, we are reading your comments. Just keep it in English, please, if it's possible. So we can read all of it. All right.
Yes.
So we have a comment here coming from Pay. Okay, so it's good luck, Gyro, Kibika, Mervs, Rap, Mac, King, and Sards. I think these are the players from Goons. All right.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he said by Michael Ong, the reason why KTFRG doesn't have a mount for him not to be seen immediately by the enemy. It is hard to see the
Oh,
RG if you don't have a mount. Yeah, what it can be a reason as well, right?
that's actually good. It's actually good. Yeah.
It can be a reason. It can be a reason. Yeah, yeah. But I'm not sure. For me, I think it has benefits. It has its downsides. So again, I think Michael here just stated the downsides of having a mount. So
Oh,
yeah, I think it could be an option as well.
are they inside already or not yet?
No, yeah, I think they're still.
That NPC good.
Uh, yeah, they're still forming up. All right, so not yet. They're not yet there.
Okay, no
All right, so
NPCs yet. Okay.
yeah, no NPC yet. So you need to go back if you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So while we're waiting for the teams to get ready right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just cheer for your favorite teams. Again, the poll is up. Who do you think will win? Is it going to be Goons or 85% fictive?
85%.
Um, yeah. So,
Yeah.
let us know. Let us know. All right. So vote in the poll right now. And for you, MG, actually, based on what you've seen in round number 1, coming from these two teams, I know 85% fictive has advantage when it comes to experience compared to Goons. And yeah, what do you think Goons needs to do to catch up to the firepower that 85% fictive brought back in round number 1? Maybe they are going to bring it here in round number 2 as well.
Well, I think on the side of Goons, they need to basically, again, they need to have like a pre-talk before the match, of course, to set things, the expectations as well. A reminder basically as well on each classes. They need to sink in. Like I think if they manage to have a practice, they need to remember how they do it and be more and be consistent on how they do it or how they execute it. Plus consistent callouts. If they got really or if they're getting really focused, like if for example you got dispelled by a Sorg and you don't have the sacrifice anymore on top of you, you need to call that out. Consistent communication is one of the keys that they need to have for the matchup versus a veteran or a veteran player in a veteran team on the 7v7 especially. So consistent communication, execution, and trust to your teammates of course. So yeah, they need
Yes,
to
I
trust
think
each other.
communication is really important, not only in game but also outside in life. Communication is important in life. All
Yeah.
right. So I think if you have good communication, good team coordination as well, you can go so far, especially
Yeah.
here in our tournament 7 versus 7. But NPC is now up. MG, I think we can go in, but let's show our teams later on what is going to happen. Ooh, we are playing in this map. This is pretty interesting right now. So I'm really curious to see the lineup of our teams, which we will show in just a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Goons fans in the chat. And how about the 85% fictive fans? I remember the match of 85% effective. In round number one, they went against Infinix Reborn. And Infinix Reborn at that time just really got pummeled, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
They just got pummeled by 85% effective. Again, they raided the spawn or the starting point of Infinix Reborn back in round number one. So they are really confident in their movement. They know what to do. They know how to navigate the map. So I believe they are just showing their experience, so that they can use that leverage as their advantage in a 7 versus 7 match.
Yes. And
Execution
of
and
course, definitely
crossfire.
the movement or the familiarizing your team into the map is really important as well. It's actually one of the keys that you need to study. And the more familiar that you are on the map, you can actually do maneuver, and you can actually caught your opponent off guard just in case that they're not very familiar on that set map. Yeah.
Yes. Well, catching your opponent off guard is also going to be a huge factor. And we've seen how goons play. And I gotta say, they are improving every game.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the War of Imperium, uh, they have the firepower to improve every succeeding War of Imperium that we had
Mhm.
in Ragnarok Online GGH. And in 7 vs 7, I agree that it's going to be different. But I believe goons can make their adjustments. They can make the right plays to counter
Yeah.
what 85% effective is going to do. Again, they won their match against Mirage Icon
Mirage Icon. Yeah.
back in round number one. So maybe they can pull something off. They can show us something different here in round number two. But again, 85% fictive is not going to be an easy opponent for goons right here.
Definitely. So it will actually bring out the best of goons for this match, and I
Bring
think
out the best. All
bring
right?
out the best.
I think
Yes.
every player needs to bring out the best
Yeah.
in themselves, right?
Yes, and they just need to take their time. That's one of the things that I really suggest to them. Like, take their time. Like, don't force any movement. Like, and if you're gonna force any like action or movement on any clash, can actually backfire your entire team. So I think having that perfect call on the shot caller of their team, and what do you call this? Consistent sacrifice. I think that's the one of the best keys.
And sacrifice.
Consistent sacrifice.
The skill sacrifice, right?
Sacrifice.
Not sacrifice your teammates for the benefit
Yep,
of your
don't-
own, like what
yeah.
like what you were planning to do
Yes.
if you were going to play in 7 vs 7. Just making sure you don't die first in
Yes.
7 vs 7. So don't be like MG, guys.
Don't be like me. Don't be like me.
Don't be like MG if you're playing 7 vs 7. All right. Okay, so yeah, since we only have a minute left for our before our shopping phase ends, I gotta say I'm seeing something pretty new coming from Goons right here. Compared to the first round that they had, they are going to utilize something different for their lineup for today's match. Right? So how about you on your side of
Yes, on the side of
85%
yes,
fictive?
yes, yeah.
Right.
Are you gonna say the KDF? No. But yeah, going back to 85% fictive, I think they're gonna use the same lineup. I believe they used a maybe I'm gonna say it later once the buy phase is done. But I think this lineup is really interesting and very explosive.
Explosive. I like it.
So I think you
Explosive.
know
Okay.
what class is this. Again, the lineup of 85% fictive is really interesting. And like you said, I think this is the term that you used, like the cheesy lineup.
Oh, the cheesy one. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
I think it will be pretty interesting for both of these teams as they are both utilizing different lineups that they compared to their round number one, or compared to what they've shown in round number one. So, yeah, we're looking forward to what will happen in this match. As long as they don't get caught in some corners of this map, especially in the left, because it's going to be tough in the top left of that of this map, right? Top
Yes.
left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Yeah, it's going to be tough. So
Yes.
just make sure you don't get caught in
Definitely. Yeah,
weak
I'm trying
corners
my
because
best
it's
to
going to be tough.
yes, I'm trying my best to survive on every clash that they have, especially if they're
Uh-huh.
using the explosive class.
Ah.
So yeah. But
Mm.
anyways, I think this is gonna be a really good match. I'm really curious, James. Like, what wild classes are they gonna pull off on the side of goods?
Well, this is actually pretty different for Goons compared to round number one. In round number one, they utilize that mechanic for the lineup. But here in round, or rather, here
Round
round
two.
number two of the tournament, all right, they are utilizing that Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser for the lineup here. So maybe they figured something out because of round number one, or because they watched the matches, the replays that we had in round number one. So they determined, oh, maybe this is something new. We can use this lineup. We can try this out, and maybe we can deal more damage and have a safer victory against our opponents right now.
Yes, on the side of 85% of fictive, they're gonna opt out for the five core classes, and their two wild classes is gonna be Shadow Chaser and a Mechanic.
And right now, as Goons are inching closer to 85% effective right here, 85% effective, actually scouting out and about. He knows where Goons is right now because their Shadow Chaser is actually close here to the stack of Goons. So I believe 85% effective has an idea on what they are going to expect coming from Goons right here. That's why they are backing out just a little bit right here, making sure they have enough buffs. Maybe just checking out their keybinds to make sure everything is going to work when they put their aggression to the test, as they are actually going to go closer. And for Goons, they don't have an idea yet where their opponents are at. So 85% effective, just keeping their distance right now, while Goons is just starting to navigate to make sure to check out where the opponents are going to be, as the Magnetic Earth is going to connect in just a bit. Hurricane's gonna landing on the floor. Dragon's Breath will actually connect here to 85% effective, as Goons. That Rune Knight is actually just in the middle. Gates of Hell will land, but no. No one will go down here coming
Crazy
from
Vines?
Goons. And as you can see,
Here we go.
Crazy Vines going off. Gates of Hell will connect once again. That Rune Knight will go down. Overbrand here in the stack of Goons right now. And the Sorcerer was caught. Same goes for the Shadow Chaser. Sorcerer will go down as well. Ghouls just getting taken down
Here we go.
one by one, as 85% effective is going to take this victory in round number one. And they actually lost a member right here for 85% effective.
Yes. Wow, that's what's I thought for a second that Guns have the control. When they have that Rune Knight doing the damage, like the Dragon's Breath on top of the of 85% fictive. That's actually a good control on the side of Goons, but I think they got scattered when like the initiation coming from 85% fictive landed on the side of Goons. So, but the Crazy Vines was really good on the side of Goons. That was really commendable. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the Crazy Vines went off. Again, there was no immediate follow up coming from Goons right there. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't see that Diamond Dust connect to 85% fictive right there. But while that Rune Knight was just in the middle of the battle, just trying to take down or just trying to initiate some damage against their opponents, or 85% fictive right here. But again, they were waiting for something to happen. Goons was waiting for something to happen. Maybe that Sura of Goons just need to play a little bit more aggressive for Goons. Because when that Dragon's Breath landed, and when that Crazy Vines just eliminated that Magnetic Earth on the floor of 85% fictive, they need to have that follow-up to take down at least a single member or a single core member of 85% fictive right there. But unfortunately, that didn't happen that first round of this match. So maybe we will be seeing that in round number 2. But what a great effort here coming from Goons and 85% fictive. You know, just made sure to counter what Goons was preparing to do. Again, using that scout early, that Shadow Chaser was really close to Goons at the start of that round.
Yes, actually, Yeah, you're correct about that. I really like how the Rune Knight and same time the Shadow Chaser on the Goons is playing. Like on a certain like few seconds, I think on during that fight, they actually created a good space for their damage dealer to landed those opportunities. But apparently, again, like you mentioned, that Sura needs to play a little bit of like he needs to put like a bit of aggressiveness on his gameplay because earlier those targets are really open, right? Like the sustain coming from the RK was really good. On the side of the Shadow Chasers, he's actually doing his job, securing those or turning off that land protector on the side of 85% fictive. But the question there is where is the follow up coming from the from Goons? So I think Goons for the second round, I think they know what's lacking on their first round. So definitely Goons might go for an immediate follow up. But on the side of 85% fictive, they know for a fact what's gonna happen maybe on the strategy of Goons. So I think 85% fictive will just play reactive on the second round. So that's actually my prediction for
Yes.
this.
And later, when we go back to the starting point, we can actually show um, the our teams right here. And you'll be spectating the goons actually here in round number 2 of this match. Well, I'm going to be at the side of 85% fictive. And for goons right now, as I'm seeing, they are going to do something interesting for this match. So we don't want to show it that just as of yet. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll transition it a bit later on. But they are still in the buying phase. We still have 2 minutes before we actually go there. So said by Michael here,
Mm-hmm.
Goons did not realize that the mechanic of GGL is still alive. Thus, mechanic immediately went in to SD. Actually, I didn't see where that SD landed.
Yeah. It was really
Honestly,
fast. Yeah.
because there are a lot of things that I want to check out, and we can only spot these things in replays if we have the time to, what do you call this, to review them one by one.
Yeah.
So you can see what we are casting, what we are saying is what's happening in front of. So yeah, maybe if we can spot those things happening, we can analyze it a little bit more. But yeah, that mechanic, I'm not sure what happened to that mechanic of you go 85% fictive.
Yep.
So maybe that suicidal destruction landed in the right spot. But what I only saw here coming from 85% fictive, what was there Sura being aggressive.
Yes.
Again, I think that Sura of 85% fictive was playing with very low HP, trying to take down that Rune Knight. That Rune Knight went down with 2 Gates of Hell. So because it took 2 Gates of Hell to eliminate that Rune Knight, there was a window of opportunity for Goons earlier in round number 1, which they didn't take. Or they failed to take because of the pressure that 85% fictive was doing at that time.
Yes.
When that Sura went in, Gates of Hell, if you're playing with very low HP, a quick dispel and maybe a follow-up damage can actually
Yes.
eliminate that Sura. Maybe that Gates or Dragon Spirit will actually land as well against that Sura. Or maybe a quick hold coming from the Royal Guard maybe can be an option for Goons right there. But that didn't happen round number 1, so maybe we'll be seeing something different when it comes to round number 2 of this match. Again, Goons versus 85% fictive. I believe when we go to the starting point screen in a bit, MG, maybe when the timer starts and after 30 seconds you can show the lineups of these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. So again, this is gonna be the decision match for on the side of 85% fictive, and for Goons as well. They need to catch up and play a bit aggressive on this second round, because again there is a big window earlier wherein the Sura can actually take down several players on the side of 85% fictive. And on the side of 85% fictive, they need to be careful on getting zoned again by that Dragon's Breath or Rune Knight coming from Goons. So I mean, the more you give time to your opponent, the the bigger the chance that they can actually take you out. So they need to eliminate that option on Goons.
Yes. All right. So you are in the starting point of Goons right
Yep.
now, MG. Yes. Actually, transition to the screen of Goons right now. And Yeah, as the match will start in just a second, any second now. Can't you see something different from the lineup of Goons right here?
Wait.
So they actually opted for a destructive, an explosive
Explosive.
lineup as well. So
Unex-
both these teams have the same lineups right now. Both are going to utilize that mechanic for their round number 2. Let's see if Goons can actually pull this off. This is the lineup that they had in round number 1, which really worked out for Goons. And let's see. 85% fictive. They have to be careful of that mechanic. If they push out their scouts early, they can spot that mechanic early as well. But if they don't, this is going to be quite difficult for 85% fictive, because if they're not aware that there is a mechanic in the lineup of 85 or Goons right now, 85% fictive will be in trouble.
Yes, and I really like the lineup of Guns right now. I think they're just picking the comfort class that they know, or the comfort style that they're gonna play. So I think this lineup can actually give them more chances on taking down 85% fictive.
As you can see, Shadow Chaser just returning from the battle here for 85% fictive, while Goons is just keeping their distance, probably trying to position their mechanic at the right spot, as 85% fictive are playing it a little bit safe, not really going in for that explosive or aggressive play like what they did in round number 1. Well, Goons is just going to keep their distance as well. So both teams just waiting it out right now. As Goons, maybe they want to take the initiative, because again, Shadow Chasers will be there to scout things out, and they need to be ready for whatever is going to happen in the battle right here.
Yes, and I really like how 85% fictive is taking this match. They know for a fact that they're on the lead. They don't need to commit any additional movements just to win on this match. They just letting Goons to commit any mistake, and from that mistake, maybe they're gonna capitalize that push. So here we go.
And as you can see, both teams are actually going to meet each other right here. Vacuum's getting cast on the floor. Magnetic Earth will connect. You can see suicidal destruction. Oh, that Royal Guard of Goons is still up and running with that suicidal destruction landing on the side of Goons right there. But 85% fictive, just taking advantage with their Sura, taking down the members of Goons one by one. Suicidal destruction of Goons was caught in the difficult spot, as 85% fictive will take round number 2 as well.
Wow. That clash was really good on the side of Goons on the first part. But again, the suicidal destruction did actually take out that Rune Knight, or that RG, sorry, that Royal RG, Guard, yeah, the Royal Guard on the side of 85% fictive. And the moment that they saw that the suicidal destruction landed and didn't cause any damage, they just snowball and take out the rest of the players of Goons.
And what a great match we had right here. A quick change of lineup here coming from Goons, but unfortunately 85% fictive, because of their early scouts, I believe, made wonders for Goons right there. That Shadow Chaser can also be a huge factor as well if you get you land your skills right, and the chances of you landing that, you have a chance to there's a chance to fail with landing those skills.
There is.
You need to be careful. You need to scope things out. You need to be ready for whatever is going to happen in the battle. And congratulations to 85% fictive for moving on to the next round.
Yes, congratulations. And really, the gameplay that they actually performed there, like I mentioned earlier, they're just playing reactive and defensive as well. So I think that's actually really good, because again, the pressure is not on their shoulders during that match. It's gonna be on the Goon side. So they just played the game, played reactively, and yeah, the moment that Goons committed an error, that's actually a go signal for their team to go and push.
Yes. Right now, as we are looking at the bracket, KTF and 85% fictive actually moved on to the next round, and GG well played to the teams who failed to to move on to the next round, and that is Bio, GGTQ, and Goons. So yeah, the bracket has been updated. If you want to check it out, you can do so by visiting rom.genjoy.asia, and also for aro.gnjoy.id/Asia Masters. I think that's the hyperlink,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. All right. So again, we're going to be starting the match in just a bit. Uh, all right. So I'm just. All right, MG.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we can start the match in just a bit, as we are going to take a quick short break. Don't worry, the live isn't going to end. Just stick around, stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back here at the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. Again, we are your casters. My name is James.
And my name's MG. Let's go.
All right, let's go as we are going to have our third match for tonight, which is going to be Dominari versus Dignity. All right, so both these teams, actually, it's like it's like deja vu, right? Because a team of Dominari went up against Dignity in the first round. So there's another team of Dominari who actually pushed through to round number 2. This was the team who actually went against Taba Sampay Akhir. And it happened in map number 1, or the map with the grassy map.
The grassy map.
The grassy map.
Yeah.
It happened in the map number 1. And actually Dominari at that time went in for that suicidal destruction, or that mechanic gameplay against Taba Sampay Akir.
Yes.
So maybe here, when they are going to go up against Dignity, maybe they are going to go for that mechanic once again, or they are going to show us something different. So we'll see what will happen as we are going to check out their lineups later at the starting point.
Yes.
For Dignity, okay, so sorry, MG?
Yeah. I think, yes, I think if the Dominari needs to, play it safe, I think the Comfort class will actually do. Just want to add that.
Yes. Okay, so here, Dignity is an interesting team. Again, this was the team who played with no Sura.
Is this the
This
front
was
slide,
the
back
team
slide?
who played with no Sura, and it was a team who actually played with the Ranger. Again, no limits. Arrow storms can kill.
It is, yeah.
And maybe they are going to show us a similar lineup in round number 2 of this tournament. But they are playing a very glass. They are playing very cheesy. But if they can pull it off like they did in round number 1, it is going to be quite an interesting battle, because the Dominari team that they went up against in round number 1 was the team with the first time we actually saw a genetic getting utilized in 7 vs 7, or here in Ragnarok Asian Masters. Yes.
That was actually a really interesting lineup coming from Dominari on the first round. But again, going for Dignity, like no Sura, it's like a really a good mixed up. Especially it's gonna be like a mind games coming from Dignity versus Dominari, because again, Dignity, they have like a lot of damagers as well on their side. So either you're gonna evade the suicidal destruction, or you're gonna be caught on the range of the Ranger, or you're gonna be punished if you're getting out of position by the Sura of the Gates of Hell, or Guillotine Fist. So they have a lot of offensive mechanism to take down Dominari.
All right. So right now, the buying phase is going to end any minute now. Let us know who is the team you are looking forward to seeing. Is it going to be Dominari or Dignity? Let us know, of course, in the chat who's the team you are rooting for. Maybe if you want to tag or want to let us know, want to shout out the members of your team, like I think what Faye did earlier for Goons. Let us know in the chat. Maybe we can shout them out as well. All right.
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. This is going to be a thing that we are going to be seeing again if the Ranger gets utilized once again by Dignity. Same goes for their, I think, mechanic and the Warlock. Maybe they can do something different for they can do the same thing that they did in round number 1. Again, we are going to show you the starting point in just a bit, maybe when the timer counts down, and after maybe a few seconds, MG, you can transition. Yep. All right, so yeah, you guys saying pizza in the chat. I don't know if that's pizza or does it mean different?
Oh,
I'm not really sure. All right. Okay, so aren't there any Dominari fans in the chat? Please type it right now. So make sure to cheer for Dominari if you are a Dominari fan, and cheer for Dignity if you are rooting for Dignity. Like
Yes.
Arizal right here. Good luck, Dignity. And AB Dignity said Vendi. All right. So there's also comment here. MG, can I have your shirt? The pouring one. Or no, actually it's an angeling.
Yeah, angeling, yeah.
Right? Is an angeling right there. As the match is going to start in just a minute, MG, I think we can transition in maybe right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, as we are going to take a look at the lineup of these two teams, what is the lineup of Dominari, MG?
Okay, for Dominari, guys, we have the 5 core classes, of course, and their 2 wild card classes is gonna be Warlock and Rune Knight. There you go. So, yeah.
And for the side of Dignity, okay, they are going to repeat what they did in round number 1.
Let's go.
No surrender lineup. They are going to utilize that Ranger, Warlock, Mechanic, plus that actually is that a Shadow Chaser? There's a Shadow Chaser in the lineup as well. So they have a Sorcerer, Warlock, Minstrel, Ranger, Royal Guard, Mechanic. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, I was correct. As the teams are going to move in closer right now to one another. As you can see, Magnetic Earth almost connecting right here. Dragon's Breath will connect. And you can see that Warlock will get taken down.
No.
Rock getting casted here by the Warlock of Dignity. And as you can see, Dominati just trying to take down the member. Suicidal Destruction will go off coming from Dignity. But Dominari is still up and running. That Royal Guard of Dominari got taken down, unfortunately.
Wow.
But they are going to attack and take down the members of Dignity right there. High-speed Cartram trying to take down the Warlock of
Let's
Dominari.
go.
As you can see, Dominari will take down Dignity to win round number 1.
Wow, that was really a good push coming from Dominari. The aggressiveness was there. The commitment on each members are really on top of everyone. And at the same time, on the side of Dignity, I think they're not expecting that rush push coming from Dominari. Wow.
Actually, I think the MVP that actually started it all for Dominari, I think is the Rune Knight just going in.
Yeah.
Again, a Dragon Howling, if that Dragon Howling connects, you are going to be put in the fear status. So you cannot move. Alright, so maybe that Warlock just got caught in that moment, or maybe that's the Sorcerer that just got caught in that moment, and that Dragon Howling. And Dominati, what a good play, as they are going to take round 1 of this match. Unfortunately for Dignity, they failed to utilize their current lineup. So maybe they might opt for a different one. Again, that the lineup of Dignity is a little bit squishy. They don't have their Sura. They have the Mechanic in the play, that Warlock as well. If you can lock someone with that White Imprison, it's going to be over for that person, because you can only just watch, right? Unless you got hit by a status, status recovery, then you can move once again. All right.
Yes. I'm not sure if the I didn't see the Suicidal Destruction or the Mechanic earlier. I think that the Mechanic is too far from the Clash as well. That's why I think when Dominari saw a 6v7 opportunity, they actually took the opportunity right away. And I thought as well that for 1 second we saw the Mechanic at the back lane as well on the side of Dominari. I thought he's gonna go in and dive immediately, but he actually just have a long trip before he can actually go back to the stack of Dignity.
A long trip.
Yeah.
A long trip. All right. Well, actually, here for Dignity, the Suicidal Destruction landed perfectly at the stack there, but only eliminating the Royal Guard there of Dominari.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think Dominari reviewed the videos and made sure, or tried to scout what Dignity is going to do, or what they are planning, because at the same map in round number 1, Dignity also played here in this map.
Yeah.
With that lineup, or with this specific lineup that they have, with that Ranger, Mechanic, and the Warlock. So maybe because of that, Dominari knows what Dignity is going to do.
Yeah.
So they maybe Dignity can change things up. Maybe off for that Sura once in round number 2
Probably, yeah.
of this match, or they can change out their strategy. Maybe their mechanic can go with the stack of Dignity right now instead of just arriving at the specific moment to land that suicidal destruction. Although that suicidal destruction of Dignity was successful, but maybe because Dominaria reviewed the clips of what happened in round number 1 of when they defeated the other Dominari team.
Yes.
Maybe because of that, they know what to do now. They are ready for what is coming for their team or their match for today.
Yes. On the side of Dominari, I think the key factor that they're trying to do right now is they're not letting Dignity have their setup on their on their placement. They don't want to have that opportunity on the side of Dignity that they have that range pressure coming from the Ranger. They're not allowing they're trying to eliminate those factors, and they're just pushing Dignity on the corner, making them to be available on those of Dragon's Breath AoE circle immediately. And at the same time, I think the confidence as well on the side of Dominari, knowing that most of the players of on the side of Dignity is very squishy as well, like you mentioned as well. That is an opening to them, because again, on the side of Dominari, they have a warlock, they have a rune knight as well. So both players can actually deal damage.
They don't have a rune knight.
I mean, Ranger. I mean, on the side of Dominari.
Yeah.
Dominari has that classes that can actually do heavy pressure, single and AoE damage as well. Versus Dignity. Plus the Sura. The moment that you step out on your stack area, or the moment that they saw that you don't have a sacrifice right away on the side of Dominari will immediately take that punch without any hesitation. So that's why I think Dominari took that first win versus Dignity, because of the confidence, plus the reads as well coming from their shot callers. So it's a pretty well played coming from Dominari.
Yes, and maybe for Dignity right now, if they can change things up, it can actually, or their lineup can actually work for them right now. But you are going to be spectating the side of Dignity right now, as I'm going to be on the side of Dominati. And yeah, like what I said, in round number 1, because the Dragon's Breath is going to be was the MVP for me in that round because of Dominati. Again, because Dignity is a little bit squishy. They have that Ranger, which is using bows. You don't have you cannot equip a shield.
Yeah.
Because if you want to deal damage, right? And that Warlock as well. If you all get hit by that Dragon's Breath, that Royal Guard, even if you are sacrificed or there's a defender, that can still cause some heavy damage, because all of you are just receiving the damage that that Dragon's Breath is doing, right? And if that Royal Guard gets dispelled, it can be a burden to the Royal Guard as well to just use those potions, make everything safe for their teammates. And I think that's what happened there in the round number 1 for Dominati and Dignity. But we'll see here in round number 2, can Dignity actually take this victory against Dominati right here with their lineup with that Ranger, Warlock, and Mechanic? And can Dominati repeat the same thing they did in round number 1, where they utilized their Warlock and Rune Knight in the lineup?
Yes. So I think we're about to start. I think Battle Chance has been casted right now on the side of Dignity. So we only have like few seconds before we start the second round. Dominari versus Dignity. 1-0. Let's go and check.
Alright. And I believe the cooldowns here of Dignity are all set. Again, 3 skills are going to have a 5-minute cooldown if you're all using it. Again, no limits, intense telekinesis, and suicidal destruction.
Yes.
If all of them got used in round number 1, I believe all of them are cooled down and ready to use here in round number 2, as it is going to start any second now.
X.
We're all just getting ready. We're all hyped up for the second round of this match again. I'm curious and excited to see what Dignity is going to bring to the table, because that Ranger is going to be exciting to watch. Again, if those Arrow Storms connect with the roster or the lineup of Dominari just sticking close to each other, it can be very dangerous for Dominari. Same goes for Dignity. If they failed to utilize their sacrifice property or devotion property, they get hit by multiple Dragon's Breath and Gates of Hell coming from Dominati, it can be dangerous for Dignity. So, high risk, high reward scenario plays for both teams. Just a little bit safer here for Dominati, a little bit more stable because they have that Sura in their lineup. Can also do some utility, curse circles, also disabling their opponents, as this round is going to start. The Dominari rushing. It's Suicidal Destruction immediately coming from the side of Dignity, as that mechanic actually got taken down. You didn't see that on camera, but oh my goodness. That was a quick Suicidal Destruction right here. Dragon Howling was the Dragon's Breath will connect. And Dignity will lose one member, as you can see that Rune Knight is just going to try and take down the members of Dignity one by one, along with that Sura. Gates of Hell landing that Sura of Dignity. Another one will land that Sorcerer, but will not take down that Sorcerer of Dignity. Royal Guard will go down, as Dominari are picking off their opponents, or Dignity one by one. Sorcerer, the next one to go off. Archbishop and the Minstrel, the only ones left. Minstrel left for Dignity, and Dominari will take this victory and move on to the next round.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, actually.
As much as I want to go there.
If you saw what happened in my screen, it was a very quick Suicidal Destruction that I saw earlier.
Like
just a quick front slide. Suicidal Destruction was there while Dominati was just still walking.
Wow.
What a play there coming from Dignity, but unfortunately for Dignity, that did not connect, as Dominati will be moving on to the next round.
Like, I thought that, like, I was actually expecting that he's gonna do that, like the quick Suicidal Destruction, because again he managed to caught Dominati off guard on the first round, and I think when he saw the opportunity on the second round, he immediately took it. So, but I think that didn't landed properly on the side of Dignity, and the moment that they lose that mechanic again, Dominari has the go signal to, take everyone out.
What a play there coming from both teams. But unfortunately for Dignity, their lineup right there for this matchup, they work. As we are going to have our last match in just a bit, which is going to be Valhalla versus Arcane. Both these two GGL teams are actually pretty insane. And I'm expecting to see a lot of good plays here in this next match.
Well, to be fair, yes. Valhalla, Arcane, they have a different of play style, because on the side of Valhalla, if I'm not mistaken, Valhalla was really into a rush play. Like on the Arcane, they just play really safe. Like they're just doing like surgical strats, like taking out one key player at a time. So the patience coming from Arcane versus the aggressiveness of Valhalla. So this is actually one of the matches that I really want to see. So yeah.
Yes, and we are going to find out the last team who will move on to the top 8, or will push through to the top 8 of this tournament and move on to the quarterfinals. Again, if you are included in the top 8, you are already assured of a reward.
Oof.
Alright, so for GGH, I'm not sure about the rewards for GGL, but for GGH teams who actually push through, I think for the tournament, so there's a Costume Emperor Wreath for the 7th and 8th. You are already assured that a costume for your character. So if you're 4th and 6th team, you will have a Costume Golden Wreath. So it's Wreath, but it's gold. All right. So it's different for third place reward, second place, and of course the first place rewards. Again, we have a 5,000 US dollar prize pool for this tournament. So a lot is at stake. And currently, right now in the quarterfinals or in the top eight, we have um, five teams from GGL and two teams from GGH, both from Dominari Guild or both different teams of Dominari.
Yes.
All right, so seven teams in total. Last one, we will know in just a bit. So let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. Is it going to be um, Arcane or Valhalla, who will push on to the next round?
This is actually a really interesting match. So can't wait to watch. And I'm actually predicting that there is gonna be a 1-1 for this one, for this match. So I hope that they can actually give us like a 1-1 score to push that third match. Yeah.
Yes, as both teams are, I think, are just setting things up. And yeah, now let's actually talk about what happened in round number one, if I remember correctly. All right, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah.
So Valhalla went against another team of Dominati.
Yes.
I believe it was in this.
Wait, is this the one that Valhalla lost one of their members?
Yeah, this was the time that Valhalla lost the Royal Guard at the start of the match. At the round number one. So they played with no Royal Guard. They played with a very, very, you can say YOLO type of gameplay, but I believe because based on what they did in the 3 rounds, I think it's just how they play. Just very aggressive at the start of the match. Just push in.
Yeah.
Just push in. All right.
Don't let the enemy to. They don't want the enemy to react anymore.
Yeah. You cannot regroup. We're just going to push you.
Yeah. Push.
Immediately.
Push. Hit the key players. Delay the other classes. That's it.
Yes, but maybe it's going to be different if we are in another map. Yeah. Because again, map 2 or that snow map is a little bit
like too close
tight, too close to each other, the teams at starting point. So if we are going to play a different map, maybe we are going to be seeing a different strategy coming from Valhalla. And for Arcane, they went up against Arsenal there in round number 1 of the tournament.
Yes. On the side of Arsenal and Arcane, what I really like about what Arcane did there is the movement that they're doing. Like everyone was so disciplined. Like everyone is on top of the magnetic earth. Slowly but surely, no one is getting damaged. They know what to put up in any damage that Arsenal is throwing at them. Right? The damage was not really getting into their parties. At the same time, the moment that they have that go signal, we actually saw a White Imprisoned. I'm not sure if that's gonna be Arsenal's side who casted the White Imprisoned, but the moment that Arcane hit the stack of Arsenal, you have the close confine coming from the Shadow Chaser, White Imprisoned, so delaying like 2 characters immediately. That's gonna be -2 immediately on that fight, and the remaining 5 players, they just dispel Lex and immediately burst damage on the side of Arcane. That's why I keep on saying it's like a surgical strategy coming from Arcane. So that was really good. I was really impressed on how they play it.
Yes, and we are just waiting for the map to be chosen right here. Both teams are just doing a dice roll. And as of yet, right now, no one has actually chosen map number 3. So we haven't seen map 3 yet. So it's a different map with bridges.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that map. It was
so
really big.
We actually haven't seen that map yet. So you cannot hate it without actually seeing it.
Yeah, I actually checked it before the.
all right.
Remember, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, question,
again, guys, if you are going to go against MG, just play in map 3 because MG hates it. He's not going to move. He's just going to be at the starting point.
Yeah.
So whoever is MG's teammate is going to be.
I won't exert effort to move.
MG will not move.
I'm just gonna wait for you guys. But going back to the map topic, James, like given a chance, like if you're gonna be the one who's gonna pick the map, what map are you gonna choose?
Map 3. No, maybe map 3 or map number 4. I like those maps actually. Map
Yeah.
number 4 because it's a little bit spacious, a lot more open. You can do a lot of plays, a lot of sneaky plays as well because of the blockades. You can maybe use that for your Dora to move in and out of different areas.
Yeah.
It's an open field where you can move a lot more
Yes.
compared to the other maps that we have, like map 1 and map number 3. The corners, or there are tight choke points that you need to take notice of.
Yes.
If you get pushed immediately, you're going to get taken down immediately.
Yes.
So you need to check, you need to plan the maps accordingly as well to your lineup. And same goes for map number 1.
Mhm.
Okay. So for map number 1, I just got notified that of what the map we are going to use. So for map number 1, it's it's not a map I prefer because the starting points or the map is too big. You need to rotate in different locations or different
Yes.
areas to actually encounter each other. So if the I remember map in round number 1, it was Dominati who utilized that map really really well when they went against Taba Sampayakir.
Mhm.
It was a game of tag. It was a game of tag.
Yes.
Taba Sampayakir just tried to chase them down, and
Yes.
Dominati was quick. They just utilized the maps and they played a game of tag. They tried to corner Dominati while they are trying to run away and
Yes.
prevent the battle. But yeah, it didn't happen because of the map infrastructure, you can say.
Infrastructure or the map setup. Yeah.
Map setup, alright?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not my preferred type of map. How about you, MG?
I think I'll go for the snow one. It's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like I mean there is actually like some couple of choke points that you can actually utilize. But if you're not really familiar on the map of for that one, you're gonna be like really mess up everything for your team. Like especially if you don't know how the suicidal destruction will land on top of your team. For example, because again, you can actually angle it properly, or you have a lot of angles on how to put your suicidal destruction there as well, and the curse circle. And on the past matches that we've actually seen, the curse circle and suicidal destruction on that map is really high. I mean, the win rate for for that combo, I think that was like 70% guaranteed win rate. So it's really it's an easy map, but again a high risk map as well.
yes. Well, I think the higher risk map is going to be map number 3 if you are going to utilize the mechanic. Again, it's a bridge that has really tight choke points.
Yeah, I hate
You
that.
can go. You can just go straight, front slide, suicide destruction at the starting point, choke point of the opposing team. So
Yes,
it can happen. It can happen. I'm just seeing the possibilities, but so maybe that's one of the reasons why they are avoiding that map.
definitely.
Probably. But yeah, map number 2 is a little bit comfortable for the mechanic plays as well.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be a choke point there at the hill where the range is just perfect to land that curse circle plus suicidal destruction.
Yes.
But we rarely see encounters in the middle of the map where they
Yeah.
just don't go on top of the hill. They just play there in the middle. So we rarely see encounters like that.
Either your team is gonna go up to us, or our team is gonna charge you in on that hill. So that was really interesting. But again, are we gonna see an explosive classes, James? What do you think?
Well, we might see some
Are we gonna
explosive
see
classes, or we might
wild
see
card,
some
really wild card classes?
Well, we're not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
we will check things out as we move on to the starting point in just a bit. But I'm really looking forward to this match because again,
Yeah.
Arcane and Valhalla, both of these teams are really skilled when it comes to 7 vs 7. Arcane was really dangerous. back when I
Yes.
saw them in round number 1, they are really dangerous. They know what to do. They are prepared to do anything just to take you down.
But
And for Valhalla, they have a very, very aggressive gameplay.
yes.
Again, maybe they are going to do the same thing that they did in round number 1, where they just push in. Just, we don't care.
We're
You
just
only
gonna,
live
yeah.
once. You only live
We're gonna
once,
go
so
deep.
we're going to push in immediately and try to eliminate you one by one.
Yes.
And it all works, or that strategy works only if you have good team coordination. If your
Yes.
team is not going to push with you and you're just alone pushing in, you're not going to have a good time.
Definitely.
You're just going to get frustrated because you will get immediately taken down by your opponents, as the shopping phase or the buy phase is going to end in a second. All right, we are now moved on to the starting point of this match. MG, you can transition in a bit. Not okay, right now.
Okay.
You can transition right now, MG.
Okay. So so going back on this one, so I think everyone is very ready on this one. But question, James, I have a question actually. I just want to ask this. Does it have like a factor if you know, like, you're fighting with a really, really, really good team? Does your strategy changes?
Well,
Do you adjust your strats, or are you gonna do the strats that's very comfortable for your team?
personally, I'm going to adjust my strategy based on my opponent. Again,
Ah.
reviewing clips, reviewing the lineup of the opposing team on whoever is the most dangerous target can be a huge factor for your team if you are competing in a tournament scenario such as this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe both of these teams have scouted each other already. They know what each other team is using, because again, we have a live stream.
Yeah.
They can review the clips that they've seen in what happened in round number 1. Maybe they encountered each other before in tournaments in GGL. So yeah, pretty excited to see how these teams are going to play this round out, as we are going to start round number 1 in just a bit. Who do you think will win this match? Is it going to be Valhalla or Arcane? Let us know in the chat. Vote for it in the poll as well. We are waiting for your answers, of course, in the poll and in the chat. MG.
Yes. Okay, so speaking of Valhalla and Arcane, so right now I'm on the side of Valhalla. So let's go ahead and tackle the topic of their lineup. So right now, guys, they're actually using the 5 core classes. That is the Sura, Archbishop, Minstrel, Sorcerer, and the Royal Guard. And for their 2 wild card classes, that's gonna be the Mechanic, and I believe that was, somebody's disconnected. Oh, the Ranger. I think I saw a Ranger earlier. Oh, Ranger. Yeah, there you go.
But unfortunately, if you get disconnected as the timer is counting down, nothing is going to work for you. But this match is going to start. This round is going to start. Arcane is actually utilizing a Rune Knight and a Shadow Chaser for the lineup. Let's see if Valhalla will still continue there. You only live once gameplay. Masquerade, Ignorance, getting casted here. Urges Escape, Dragon's Breath, Curse Circle coming from Valhalla.
Here we go.
Suicidal Destruction landing by Valhalla right there, taking down 2 members of Arcane. Now Arcane is going to be at a disadvantage. Arrow Storms will connect right there, but there is a Numa on the ground of Arcane. They still have their Sura and their Runite for Arcane right here. Now, that Shadow Chaser coming from Arcane is going to get taken down as well. So only 1 member of Arcane got eliminated by the Suicidal Destruction. Oh my goodness! 2 members of Valhalla, I think, got eliminated by that Arrow Storm.
Here we go.
Or rather, Arcane?
Yeah, Arcane.
Arcane rather got eliminated by Arrow Storm.
3v4?
But Arcane is just going to try and do things or settle things right here. Diamond Dust plus Dragon's Breath landing here for both sides. You can see Arcane is at an advantage because they have more members right here. Valhalla just trying to make things work. But Valhalla won't be able to survive that Dragon's Breath here in this match, or in this round, as Arcane is going to take round number 1. It was a long and it was a long battle. I can
Yes.
say, and I'm not sure what really happened. I think um, what happened right there is a shadow formation might have been casted. I'm not really sure because I need to review. I need to
I mean,
review it.
it was really
I
fast. Like, to be fair, on
yeah
the execution on both teams.
yeah it happened so quick, and I thought at first Valhalla had the advantage right there. But I know that the Shadow Chaser of Arcane got eliminated, so I'm just watching the stream right now because we have a stream delay.
Yeah.
Just checking what happened right there. So as that magnetic earth got casted, Arrow Storms will actually connect, and Arrow Storms, that ranger of Valhalla is actually using a Frildora card.
Oh.
Okay, Dragon's Breath. Okay, so that Dragon's Breath actually, that Dragon's Breath, that Rune Knight of Arcane was actually the MVP, eliminating
A lot.
the members of Valhalla one by one.
Yes.
Props to Arcane right there, just keeping their composure. I think the no limits of that ranger got the effect have worn off, maybe
Yeah.
in the final few seconds of that round. But what a great match that we just saw right there.
That was really good. Like, we actually saw like really technical defensive style coming from Arcane. They actually showed us how to okay, I got disconnected. But yeah, I think yes, they actually showed us like how composed they are during that fight. So in the say instead of paddling back, they just managed to sustain heals, regroup during that phase, and the moment that they saw that Valhalla is trying to slow down things or trying to paddle back, because earlier on the first phase Valhalla was setting the tempo on a really fast phase play style. Then the moment that they slowed down, Arcane fired back immediately on the side of Valhalla.
I think earlier, MG, you thought Valhalla lost their ranger or got disconnected.
Yeah.
It was just hiding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I saw that ranger cloaking earlier as I was watching the replay in the live. He was just cloaking at the edge of the screen right there, or edge of the map. So with the Valhalla utilizing that Frildora for or that cloaking ranger, it's going to be interesting because again you can open a lot of opportunities just landing those arrow storms when that Numa is out.
Yeah.
But you need to remove that Numa as well. The only way for you to do so is to probably get that magnetic earth in.
Yes, magnetic earth.
You know, to remove that Numa, or maybe just eliminate both the Sura and Archbishop of Arcane, because these two players can cast Numa.
Yes, but I just want to comment on the side of Valhalla as well. Like, Valhalla is just, is showing us the creativity on the 7v7. Like Fildora on a ranger, forcing the fights on the south side, wherein they can actually just cloak in. Like, those creativeness on the 7v7. It's actually it only shows that how experienced and exotic they are, that they can be on the 7v7 scenes. And that's what I really like about the third job metas right now, or the third job 7v7. You have a
Yes.
lot of options, you have a lot of builds to pull off, and it could work, and it couldn't be that effective, but still you can actually confuse your opponents by using those exotic or random strategies that you can pull off.
Exotic.
Sorry for the term.
Exotic.
I think that's the
exotic
perfect.
linos,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exotic just means that it's different,
Different, yeah.
just unique. Okay. For Valhalla, I believe they landed their suicidal destruction perfectly.
Yeah.
If they manage to take down the royal guard of Arcane, again that defender will wear off. If that defender is gone, that arrow storm will
Connect.
will connect freely against your opponents. They also have their Sura to make things work for Valhalla. But Arcane, on the other hand, has prepared for these things. As soon as that suicidal destruction landed, Numa got casted on the floor to make sure they don't get hit by that arrow storm. So they are prepared for whatever is going to happen. You are going to be moving on to the side of Arcane right now,
Arcane,
right?
yes.
MG?
Yep. So I'm gonna move on the side of Arcane again, guys. I think we didn't introduce the classes of Arcane earlier, but on the side of Arcane, they have the 5 core classes again. Of course, there's the Archbishop, Sura, Minstrel, Royal Guard, and the Sorcerer. And their 2 wild card classes is gonna be the Rune Knight, and I believe that's the Shadow Chaser.
Well, let's see if Valhalla can pull off this second round win against Arcane right here, or can Arcane take this victory and move on to the top 8 to complete our top 8 teams for this Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022 tournament. All right. So again, for Valhalla, they are using that Mechanic and Ranger for the lineup. With these 2 classes, again, they are pretty glass. They are pretty cheesy. Not much utility and support coming from their side, but if they pull it off, they can immediately dish out a lot of DPS coming from their side.
Yes. And on the side of Arcane, you actually saw the sustain, the consistency of the damage output that they have, plus the utility as well. I think this is actually a pretty stable lineup coming from Arcane.
Yes, both teams are actually going to meet each other really, really quickly right here. I can see that Frildora coming from that Sura. Curse Circle will land once again. Suicidal Destruction will connect, and Arcane got members down as well, but Numa will get casted on the floor once again. But that Sura and Rune Knight is still alive. Arcane just eliminating the stack here, and Valhalla is actually losing their members one by one. And the only person left for Valhalla is that Royal Guard Lex Eterna Divest. And another Gates of Hell to finish this victory for Arcane right there. I wasn't lying when I told you Arcane was dangerous.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like, the Suicidal Destruction connected, and at one moment, like, I thought that they can actually tie the score. Like I mentioned, there's gonna be a 1-1 score for this matchup, but again, Arcane didn't give any chance to Valhalla, sweeping them in a 0-2. Wow.
And yeah, actually, Curse Circle, Suicidal Destruction coming from Valhalla, it wasn't enough. Royal Guard was taken down.
How's it even possible, like, sustaining that combo? Like, the Suicidal Destruction was really...
The Royal Guard just soaked up all the damage that Suicidal Destruction did. Because of that, only that Royal Guard got taken down. It was so quick, but you need to have that Dispel ready as well for Valhalla if you're going to utilize that lineup. You can move on to the caster screen right now, MG. And yeah, because of that, Royal Guard was left up and running. It was still alive at the start of when that Curse Circle landed. If you finally dispel someone before that Suicidal Destruction hits, you can eliminate maybe more than just their Royal Guard.
Yes.
So unfortunately, maybe there are miscommunications coming from the side of Valhalla, or maybe that Rune Knight coming from the side of Arcane was just pestering the back lane there.
Yes.
Valhalla, as Arcane will be moving on to the next round, and there goes our top 8 teams. MG, can you announce our top 8 teams for Ragnarok Asia Masters?
Yes, definitely. So our top 8 teams that's gonna represent, who will represent the top 8 is gonna be Obliviate coming from GGL, Christ from GGL as well, and Walang Sangit Ka from GGL, Dominare from GGH, and KTF from GGL, 85% Fictive from GGL, and Dominari from GGH, and definitely the last match that we watched is Arcane from GGL.
Yes. 4 matches will happen on the next Ragnarok Asia Masters live stream, and that's going to be on Wednesday. That is November 16. November 16, 2022, quarterfinals. Same place, same time, of course, only here at the Ragnarok Online GGH page. And yeah, what an intense matchup that we had earlier, MG. What are your
Yes.
thoughts?
Like, again, that last match coming from Arcane and Valhalla was really, really insane. Like, it's really crazy. Like, how Arcane managed to counter the aggressiveness. At one point, Valhalla was putting the show on a smooth execution. But on the mid part of the game, Arcane managed to turn things on their side. And on the side of on the other matches, Dominari was really good. Like the execution of Dominari was really good, on point as well. And yeah, GGH first. I think this is gonna be the second team from GGH moving on the top 8, right? Yes. And
Yes,
for the
all
rest of
right.
yes, yeah,
So 6 teams from GGL, 2 teams from GGH, completing the top 8 of our tournament right here. Quarterfinals will be on November 16, Wednesday, 9 to 11 p.m. GMT plus 8. Or there might be overtime depending on the situation. But it will start on 9 p.m.
yes, 9
As
p.m.
we have some
9 p.m.
comments right here, MG. Alright.
Okay.
So, Jay, shout out to Nimrod. Okay, Nimrod. Shout out to you guys from GTH and Valhalla. Yeah, congrats to everyone that moved on to the top 8 and GG well played or good game well played to the teams who have lost here in the round 2 of the tournament. And it was a good achievement that you reached top 16 as well.
Yes.
All right. And that's going to be it for our stream for tonight. Again, quarterfinals on Wednesday. It's going to be exciting.
It's gonna be insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. So make sure to please do visit our websites, both from GGH and GGL. It's ro.genjoy.asia and ro.genjoy.id for GGL. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Shout out
Thank
to
you,
everyone in the
guys.
chat.
Hello.
Once again, we are your casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.